It's mad, our country now. 13 years of gaslighting, the disaster of Brexit still unacknowledgeable by the people that sold it to you, and tragically, for anybody interested in our country's genuine welfare, the people that sold you Brexit still can't tell you the truth about anything. So, this ludicrous attempt to inflate Rishi Sunak as being a safe pair of hands where his cabinet is populated by some of the vilest ghouls ever to pollute public discourse in this country. I actually heard people today trying to turn this conversation about the local election results into, well, Labour haven't done that well, have they? Privately, honestly, all the Tories will be saying this is absolute carnage, this is disastrous. On air, client journalists and various shills will be trying to pretend that there's actually a conversation to be had about how it hasn't got that well for Labour. And that goes all the way into the BBC. That's the mad thing about where we are at the moment. You've even got people on the BBC, essentially, because they think they need to be balanced. And they end up being so horribly unbalanced that they turn a day like today into a conversation of, well, it hasn't gone that well for Labour. There's two stories in town, really. 2.5. Story number 1, disaster for the Tories. Story number 2, big day for the Liberal Democrats. Story number 3, cracking day for Labour. But don't take anything for granted, because the forces I'm describing are still immense, and they could yet undo or scupper what looks to be a fairly clear path into Downing Street for the Labour Party, whether they do it alone or whether they do it in coalition with the Liberal Democrats.